Hey guys, Ken Strutz Tactical. So I want to talk about situational awareness. Oh, and Scout's here too. Say hi, Scout. um, so situational awareness, right? A buzzword everybody likes to throw around, and I'm sitting just outside of a diner here. It kind of reminded me I want to do a video from the other night. Um, Diners are a good example, right? People will go in a restaurant or whatever, and I got to sit with my back to the wall so I can face the door and all that stuff and all that's great and all of that, but what about what else is involved with situational awareness, right? How about reading the information, right? It's kind of like going through a shoot house as a SWAT team or something and pouring into a room, and you got your points of domination, sectors of fire, your jobs individually, and uh, reading the information, right? Is that target a shoot or a no shoot? Is that person, if it's a real life thing, a shoot or a no shoot? It's the same thing with situational awareness. You can park over here and, you can put your back to the wall in the restaurant and all of that stuff. And you can look for the obvious, the guy in the trench coat in the summertime that maybe he's got a shotgun underneath, or when before I became a cop and I did security, the certain people that would stand out in certain cues that shoplifters had, and you kind of pick up on people, from the moment they walk in, or just you happen to be walking the floor in a store and you're like, oh yeah, let me keep an eye on this person, and then you end up being right. So the other day, I was in Best Buy, and I was looking for something, and I was going up and down the aisles, and I'm scanning the shelves, but something in the corner of my eye, and this goes back to instincts and kind of life experiences and training. I wasn't looking for bad people or anything like that, but something told me, as I processed the information, but I was still walking. I was on to the next aisle and scanning the next aisle for what I was looking for. That I'm like, I think that guy's stealing something, and I didn't look at his hands. I wasn't looking at him, but my brain processed the information. And then when I got into the next aisle, I looked up over at him, and he was staring hard at me. And we made eye contact, and I looked away, and I looked back again, and he's staring hard at me. And we played that game, and I kept walking, and then I saw an employee start to kind of go over and, hey man, you need any help? And I just stared hard at the employee, so he saw me staring at the employee, because then I looked at him, I looked back at the employee, and I just stared at the employee. Now, was he stealing something? Was he not? I don't know, but obviously that employee picked up on it, because that employee looked at him and went right over to him, and it was more than just doing his job or whatever. So, and the whole time I was in the store, all the way to the checkout, and the guy ended up buying something. And I don't know if he stole something else, or maybe he didn't steal something. Maybe he was trying to break open a box. I don't know what my brain processed, but that's part of it too. Part of it is, having all these things of, sitting with your back to the wall, and park under a light in the park, and all these different things, right? But you got to process information, watch people's hands, do all these other things, and you don't have to be looking for something, and your brain just kind of catches something, and it's like, maybe I should take a double take, or maybe I should just get out of here, and let's not even worry about whatever I did or didn't see. Let's just get out of here, because I don't know. Because that brings me to the next point, is your gut, right? So I'll give you an example. Years ago, got in a car chase, and I was the number 2 car in the chase. Somebody else tried to initiate a traffic stop, so I went on for 5 minutes or whatever. It crashed. Everybody bailed out of the car. The lead vehicle nabbed the driver and was like, hey, as I was running up, there's a gun on the seat. So and everybody else ran along the side of this house. So we start running up to the side of the house, and then we slow down, because I've seen that before. Perps will be waiting, or I know people that have encountered guys waiting around a corner. Unfortunately, a few guys have been shot in the back that way. at least in the New York area. That's kind of like a New York bad guy thing. Maybe it's a nationwide bad guy thing, but we slowed down, and then my gut told me there were some bushes opposite the house, and I'm like, I just started giving commands to the bushes. Please come out. We're going to send in the dog. Come out with your hands up. We're launching the dog, and we didn't even have a dog with us that night. And this dude came up out of the bushes, hands up, and gave him commands, got him on the ground, cuffed him up or whatever. I didn't see that guy. I didn't smell that guy, hear that guy. It was just a gut thing. So, along with situational awareness and scanning, the parking lots and all these other things I talked about and that we hear about, you need to learn to read and process information and trust your gut and, trust the experience. Even if you don't have experience, somebody else's experience, maybe they're combat veteran, law enforcement, or maybe they just lived in a bad neighborhood growing up or something, or they still live in a bad neighborhood. So there's more to situational awareness than sitting with your back to the wall and, carrying a gun and all that. So just something to think about. So stay safe, stay warm here in New York. It's 29, 30 degrees out, hence the hat. I don't like wearing hats, so running around and trying to stay warm. All right, guys, see you on the range.